GOAT! The GOAT! Is what I would say if this movie was really the GOAT. Sony just releases the new movie GOAT, which is, I guess it was like a month ago, and you're probably sure you've seen it before in the trailers or not. It's been produced by, the people of Sony, who is creators of, K-pop Demon Hunters, and the people who own the Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse. I'm pretty sure you know who. It's the animated series movie GOAT, which is following a goat named Will, who is a, upstart, one-shot guy who goes out to become one of the best, I think it's called Rollerball, whatever, Clawball, whatever, because it's not about basketball. It's called Rollerball, and it does look very Zootopia-esque-ish inspired, but it's also a bit of a Spider-Man like animation. The animations where it almost looks like comic books, like one few frames or something, whatever. I don't really call it, but I love the artisticness. Now let's review this movie because I was looking for reviews to it and I don't know what it is. The reason why I was reviewing this movie is because I've been seeing this movie a lot on the most partly in my YouTube shorts and most importantly in my reels. Everywhere the movie GOAT was promoted. I think it's because I just watched one movie. I just watched one movie on a GOAT on the stream on my phone, and then suddenly, you keep understanding, oh, this kid's watching the GOAT. You gotta take interest. Yes, quick, spam all the scenes from GOAT. Everybody, immediately, get it. But I guess it is time to review it. And yes, I have watched the movie GOAT. Now, for the record, I need to tell you this is not a promotional thing if Sony is listening. Just kidding though. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna do the classic 10, backgrounds, animations, acting, blah blah blah, music, and all of that. Spoiler alert, obviously, if you haven't watched it. So, let's say, for now, we're gonna stop with all the chit chat and let's get to it. So, is this a Whoopi the GOAT, like Space Jam, the original Space Jam, or is it a yay, no way of like the second Space Jam? Now, here's to be clear here. I am not a basketballer. Okay, your boy is no baller here. He's not people who likes basketball. Apparently, yeah, it is supposed to be called Rollerball after I searched it, and yeah, it is it's something like Zootopia-esque, but I really kind of like the style of it. Anyways, let's stop. Let's start with the small details, and the most eye-gushing thing for me is so many stuff about this movie. I'll tell you the premises of it. It starts with a goat named Will, and he's basically, living in the he's living in the streets, yo. This is literally the south side of Zootopia. This is what real people, except the police aren't here, by the way, like Judy Hobbs. So we're all clear. So there's probably someone who's like, smoking dope or something. Anyways, forget about that. GOAT. Is it goated? So don't get me wrong, I saw the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. There are really some great reviews and interesting reviews. But I want to tell you my opinion about it because I watched it and I wanted to show you if I'm a baller. But I do watch a few basketball matches of some people. I know what basketball is and I know the rules and I know all the stuff and what makes it cool. So I understand a few things, what makes like people, oh gosh, oh my gosh. Did he just airball? Oh, did he just say Kobe? I know. I'm one of the cool guys. So it starts with Will being an upstart kid who's really wanting to become a pro rollerball guy, and he was inspired by this guy named I think is Fillmore. Yeah, Jet Fillmore, and he's a puma. And like I said, this is very anthropomorphic-ish, like Zootopia-esque. So GOAT, Will, is a goat, which is, you get the joke, ha 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 ha, get it guys, we're funny. Anyways, however, there's a lot of things that needs to be corrected, but let's have got the good stuff. But I haven't even finished narrating. So yeah, there's the time where Will made popular because he defeated this other guy who is a horse. I forgot what his name is. I think his name is King or something, whatever. He's a horse. He's a BoJack Horseman. Then apparently he got viral, and then he got this call from the hog lady, who is an agent of the team, and he wants her in because he was popular, he was viral, and he's got the skills, yo. And what happens next? Well, Fillmore was upset because he's being, added a goat, because in the basketball world of Vineland, goats or small kind of animals can't play rollerball, which is kind of weird. The thing is, like, maybe it's like a specific size version for like a sport. Does it have to be like only for like big animals? Like, why can't we just have a like a rollerball just for medium animals or small animals? Like the guy who owns the red thing, he has a bunch of kids. He could pick his own basketball team in miniseries. It would look kind of boring, I think, if it was just a small place, but Anyways, like I said, they patched it up together, they made the crew, they have some conflict with between, and then they solved it in the end. Boom, there, they win, and then the team sold. Okay. So, I'd like to say this, the animation is beautiful. Always. Sony, amazing animation, good job. I clap to you, Dad. So many great visuals, so many interesting things that happen, like the scenes. I like how the little details of it. For example, the vines that are growing into the cable wires all over, and yeah, almost everywhere in the road. It almost is like it's like some kind of apocalyptic place. It kind of reminds me of like an apocalyptic place, like they haven't even cleaned the thing. But I guess that's fine, I guess. And I just don't understand. There are things like I don't understand, like what's like. If you guys own this place under a bridge, like how can you afford a PS5? Like I literally in the movie when I was seeing it, like Will eventually become homeless because he doesn't have the time to pay rent, so he lives with his friends for now, and it's a little bit trashy. And he also lives in I guess underground on the subway. He lives with his friends, but somehow they own a PS5 phones and like a huge flat screen TV. Okay, it's not a problem to me. It just feels weird. But anyways, yeah, everything's pretty cool about the movie. Everything is visually stunning. I think it's meant to catch you in the eyes, which is probably what they're reaching for. The actors, well, not the actors, the voice actors were pretty okay, I guess. I really think that Will, the main character's voice, is just being his regular. I think he's trying a bit. However, there are some people, I forgot the name there's a famous basketball who's a giraffe. His voice acting is kind of okay. I can hear him, like talking generically. If I ever meet him, in the movie and in real life, I would definitely tell that there weren't any, differences. I guess the music was pretty okay. There was a lot of weird music they added. I just don't know what it was. And there was when there was just the sad, like, hey now, nah, nah. Okay, I see it. But anyways, yeah, the music was pretty okay. The background, the animations, the whole plot, the whole shebang was all set. Now here's one of my big problems. So we're getting already like half of the video, and I'm going to tell the main problems. It is very simple, but I guess it is too simple. It makes it like lose some of its stuff in the narratives. So the big issue in here is Jet Fillmore is a narcissistic, no, not a narcissistic, he's a huge a-hole who's also like a ball hogger. Apparently she cares so much about winning, and she really just wants to have the last win. He needs this win so desperately because if he doesn't get this, that means he's a loser and an idiot and a stupid poo-poo head panther, and he doesn't deserve to live in there. Which is the thing that makes me feel like, I guess Jet Fillmore should have been like kind of the main character. Don't get me wrong, the plot for like the character for Will is a great written story. It's just it is so simple. I think he's one of the characters like traits that are like likable, but he doesn't have any flaws. For example, it's like he has this power where he can like turn his eyes into minuses, and then he looks around, and he does use that thing sometimes. He just isn't shown very much. And second of all, he doesn't have like something to change or like something to narrate or something. So Will basically is just the goat. He's already good at doing this, but he has nothing else to learn from it. To me, if I wanted to write Will, I think he should be like the guy who should talks to the team and becomes the backbone of everyone, because he's the team will have some personal problems, and I guess that would be cool. But it all seems like they're trying to make like Will and Jet trying to bond together to understand Jet Fillmore's personal problems. He's basically a person who is like an a-hole, who's a pessimistic, who is really just trying his best to win a claw, aka like I don't know, like the NBA World Cup or something. He really does wants to do that, and basically you try any means that's necessary to do it, even if it means kicking everybody else in the face. And this turns into one of those the sad scenes before like it almost ends, like second low point of the movie. So the plot is very simple. The thing is, it is too simple. It makes it like too predictable. However, it is really fine. It doesn't matter. I think it was just a great movie just to enjoy for a simple story. Even though the animation is great, it's a simple story. It's really focused into between Will and Jet until like they bonded each other and then unbonded each other because their perspective on each other is like I can't give you the torch because I can still do this. I'm the goat of the game. I still got it. I'm not a boomer. I can still I'm still a baller. I'm one of the cool guys here. You guys are all jealous. You're all jealous. I tell you, I'm the goat, not him. I mean, he's literally a goat. I mean, he is literally a goat, but you know what I'm saying. I can still do a trick shot and whatever. And then Will is just there as like the side character who's actually like the supportive character. He literally said himself, you like when he was in the bench, he was like, you guys need anything? Water, towel, emotional support. He literally is like the personal emotional support. He doesn't have any conflicts going on other than people calling him, you're a small goat, you're gonna die in there, and we want you to do that. How does it make you feel? How does it make you feel that you're going to die, and we want you to die in a tournament? And then it just doesn't talk about it. Like I thought he would talk about how Will's experience with the press trying to persuade him like that you can't do this and stuff. Like I thought Will would have that kind of problem and like the team would help him. I think that would be a great part of the story. I just don't know why that didn't happen. I guess it's fine. There are other side characters too in here. For examples, like the team. I really like Modi, even though he's a weirdo. I think he was just here for the comic relief thing. He was pretty funny enough. Speaking of funny, the jokes. The jokes kind of land pretty not flat though. They just kind of landed. They didn't land it on like a black flip or like a super triple backflip. I don't know what people land in basketballs. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is the jokes are fine. There's literally like modern meta jokes, like the goat screaming me, ah, man, and stuff. And when the Jet listens to like AI generated songs that like meow 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 or something. The jokes were pretty okay. They're like jokes that are trying too hard to be jokes. Like for example, the Rhino's daughters are like pessimistic psychopaths or something. They try their best to go crazy, and I think they're trying too hard with that a bit. Even though they show less, which is crazy to me, they show less of it, but it's just literally trying hard to make that funny. Even though there are so many characters that are literally being enjoyable, like there's an ostrich, and there's like this monkey who is supposed to be the coach who isn't, and it was played by a actor, I forget the name is, but I think he's one of the greatest, because I think he played another character, I forgot. But anyways, yeah. Now, antagonists. Obviously, they need an antagonist. For the first one, I told you, BoJack Horseman, aka like the gray horse. I think he's a really good, really great villain. He's a just a villain who is doing it for the love of the game. Who's just like a just regular asshole. Who's sorry YouTube. Who's just a regular asshole who just wants to win because he's a horse and horse has huge wieners and my wiener is bigger than yours, and I'm gonna kick you in the curve. Yeah, slam dunk on his ass or something, whatever. Yeah, I think I like those kind of villains. Like, at the end, nothing changed about him. He just, cries about losing his hair, and I guess that's okay. Even though Will helps him, I guess that's a pretty small detail. But I guess the main villain in the movie is probably like the pig. Not the pig. It's a boar who is like the owner of the team, and then she sold him. So this is one of like biggest problems to me. Like so this board bought Will, and because the reason he was viral, and then that make Will Jet Fillmore mad. So eventually they do make it up together, and then they make it to the finals and stuff. Boom, they're in the finals, and then almost in the semifinals, and then suddenly the owner sells the team for some reason because money, money, money. I don't understand that. Even though you're about to win, even though you didn't lose, you still make like lose in the finals, so you still kind of make a bunch of money, and the reputation is going well. And the reason why he sold it because all he wanted was the popularity enough to make it to the semifinals because Will is in there. He's just there for the clout and for the cash, just like every TikToker or YouTube pranksters. And one more thing that I really don't like, and I guess not don't like, I just it's kind of confusing, but it's okay. Is how fast-paced things are. Not fast-paced, or just everything happens just so fast about doing this and that. There are some slow times, but I'm pretty sure the slow times would be really more meaningful if they just, like for examples, after they stopped, after they talk to each other, the team break up because Fillmore is becoming a ball hog and he just beats the crap out of his own team. And everybody hates him. I mean, hates her now because she is a ball hogger. And then they both decided to match this up after they went to the cage. They make themselves together, and then they brought the team back immediately. Boom! There's it. The solution to the problem. That fast, they brought it back. So I guess I understand they needed to do this fast, but there are a lot of things like not just that. The way how Will became famous. How things have gone like bad to south. Maybe because my attention span or something. But anyways, it is a bit fast paced, but I guess it is correctly that there's nothing wrong with that, especially when the movie's just almost 2 hours, but you want to fill up so many things. Yeah, that's it. So anyways, GOAT. Is it the GOAT? I give it, drumroll please, 7. It is a good movie, enjoyable to watch. I just wouldn't want to rewatch it over, but it was just great for visualization. The story plot is simple, however, it's just really confusing how, Will isn't like the main character, not just Jet Fillmore. I understand there's some other big issues like a comedy and like the pacing, but anyways, yeah, that's it. GOAT. See ya.